So after I hung up, I realized there was a lot more to tell you about the Sisters of Mercy Nut House. My dad always called it the Nut House. All right, so a little background here. I got a call from Duncan saying the intensive care nurse reports that Pop is circling the drain and I'd better get over here right quick. I want to say goodbye. So I'm in Port Angeles, which is like 7 hours from Pasco. I drive like hell for 7 hours. I get over there. I stroke his forehead. I kiss his forehead. And those blue eyes pop open. He says, well, if Nathan's here, everything's going to be all right. I figure out pretty quick he ain't going to die. He wouldn't drink enough water because he didn't like to fill up his diaper, and then he would pass out. And the law is that if you pass out in a nursing home, they got to call an ambulance, and so he ends up in intensive care until they can rehydrate him, and then he goes back. All right, so he's in the hospital, and he says, I ain't gonna die. I'm afraid to die. Why are you afraid to die, Pop? Well, because he says, when I was a little boy, I saw this movie about a man who broke all of the commandments. And I resolved as a little boy that I was going to keep all of the commandments. He says, but you know what? I broke every one of the commandments except one. He says, I've kept that one. Now, your mama, she broke that commandment. What was it? My dad. In his whole life, I guess, he never said, God damn it. If you can believe it, what a man, huh? Is that resolve? That there is a purity of heart. He never once in his life said, God damn it. But he says, your mama did once. I slapped her and made her promise not to do it again. I says, wow, Pop, well, that was something. Okay, so anyway, he says, yeah. And I said, well, why don't you tell me about the sin of murder? And he says, well, when I was working at the Nut House, there was this old guy that, God, he just smelled terrible. And he would not take a bath. And he smelled terrible. Now, I know about my dad was very sensitive to smells. So I can imagine that this old guy was getting on Pop's nerves. So Pop and another orderly just told the old guy, tonight you're getting a bath. Oh, no, I can't take a bath. It'll kill me. I can't take a bath. It'll kill me. Well, they gave him a bath, and it killed him. He died right there in the bathtub. And so Pop says, we just put him back in bed and tied a string around his Peter so he wouldn't pee the bed. And in the morning called the family, and they took him away. So that was murder. And he says, I think I might have been related to that guy. I think his name was Henderson. That was Pop's mother's maiden name. So Pop may have killed an old man named Henderson. And on the, I won't go into all the other possible sins that he told me about. But let's see, another time at the Nut House, there was a guy that I guess they needed to do a spinal tap. Probably figure out if he had meningitis. I don't know, maybe, can you test for syphilis with him? Anyway, they did a spinal tap, and they told Pop to hold the guy's ankles tight while they stuck this big needle in his spine. And Pop, and the guy is screaming, I'm going to throw up, And Pop's thinking, if he throws up, I'm going to let loose. If I let loose, that needle's going to break off in his spine. Yeah, what else? That's about all I can remember from Pop and the nursing home, and Pop with his close brush with death. That afraid to die because he's broke every one of the commandments. A couple more times Duncan called to tell me that Pop was circling the drain, and I said, I ain't coming over there every time that he wants to see me. He stops drinking water and passes out. I ain't doing it. So you tell him the next time I come over is when he reaches room temperature. Anyway, on one occasion, Dunk says that the hospice nurse had come by, and Pop said that he was ready to die, and he was ready they could turn off the pacemaker. And so Dunk says he's got an appointment with the pacemaker technician. Get over here and tell the guy to turn it off. So Adam and I go over there, gave Pop some chewing gum, and we're sitting there waiting for the man. Pop gets tired of his chewing gum and just spits it clear across the room. I think Adam was probably about 16. He was a little startled by that. Anyway, technician comes in, and so I said, now, Pop, apparently you told a hospice nurse that you didn't want to, you were a little tired of living and just soon turn off the pacemaker. Those big blue eyes pop open. He says, what? So I'll die? No, leave it on. Anyway, that was Adam and I, our adventure of taking care of Pop. So I guess that's enough for today.